Hey guys, today I'll be going over how to dispo your real estate deals if you're looking to wholesale them to an end buyer like a fix and flipper or a landlord. So please consider comment, liking, and subscribing to my channel if I provide you value. Only if I provide you value, that is. So let's jump right into it. So if you're new to wholesaling real estate and you're just kind of new in general, if you're not doing this particular method, this is the four pillars that you should definitely be asking and getting from your sellers: the condition of the property, and I'll go into the details in regards to what to get as far as condition of the property, so you have a really robust and due diligence checklist. Timeline: how soon are they looking to sell? And motivation, right? What is their motivation? You should probably spend the most time in this sector in the conversation, and then get their price, right? So I'll also talk about how to negotiate on price, on the price, right? So that's the four pillars that you should have as an outline for your conversation with the seller. Next is I'm going to go into details in regards to the email structure, so that way you have an idea of what checklist you need to hit on when you're talking to your sellers, and things to consider in your conversation. So, email greeting slash introduction, right? That's what's straightforward. You can put whatever you want in this section here. Property address, I like to put in the center of the email, and then I like to hyperlink that with either a Zillow or a Google Maps. Next is your ARV, your after repair value. If you don't know what that is, it's just like what would it sell for if it's the property is all fixed up to comps, right? The next thing I put here is assignment fee or asking price. This is relatively straightforward. You can either put the assignment fee of like you want $10,000 or an asking price um, of what you're trying to sell it for. So, for example, if you get the property for $100,000 and you want to sell it for $110,000, you get a spread of $10,000, just for example. And you can also add a buy it now price, meaning first come first serve. So if you're looking to wholesale it for 110, you can sell it for you can set the buy it now price for 115. So that way, if someone hits that 115 mark, then you can just sell it to them directly, right? Next things are your comps. So you have your long-term comps, you have your short-term comps, and then you have actual sold comps. 2 to 3 comps is recommended. I'm not going to go into comping because there's many videos on YouTube that you can look at in regards to that. I recommend Jamil Damji. Learned a lot from him, so definitely check him out. Closing date. When are you looking to close? EMD. This is kind of your preference, right? You can do a 1, you can do a 2, you can do a 3, you can do a 5, non-refundable AMD, depending on what you feel comfortable and what you could get away with. And then the access, what kind of access type does the property have? Like, is it owner occupied? Is it tenant occupied? Is it vacant with lockbox? Is it vacant with no lockbox, etc.? So property information here, bed, bath, square footage. You can put that in that order or whatever order you want, the year built, and then a photo slash video link to the property. So now with this particular aspect of the videos and photos, what I like to do is I like to take a picture and video of the exterior first, photos on all four sides, and then a photo of and photos of the any additions like detached garage, sheds, or whatever it may be, to take photos of that, and then the video for that, like a walkthrough on all four sides. You can also add in pictures where you can take detailed photos of the discrepancies, right? So you'll have a photo for each side of the house in landscape mode. So that way you can see the entirety of it. And then you'll have detailed photos if you see any major discrepancies in the exterior. Okay. And then we go inside. You want to go into 2 out of the 4 corners at a bare minimum to take landscape photos where you can see the entirety of the room, or however your wide view lens can view, and then take detailed photos of the discrepancies that you end up finding. So, and then link them into the Google Drive or Dropbox, whatever you have as far as your sending out that link. Now comes the meat and potatoes of it as a fix and flipper, all right, and as a landlord. So I like to get this information, and I feel like not a lot of people will do this due diligence, and this will save you time as a wholesaler from talking back and forth between you as a buyer, as a wholesaler, with the buyer and seller. Because for me, I'm gonna request this because I need to know what I need to do to the property to get it up to either refi value, the highest and best value of it, or fixing and flipping of it, right? So these questions are very self-explanatory. When's the last time you replaced or repaired the roof, or does it need to be accounted for? Meaning, it needs a whole new roof, basically, right? HVAC, same thing. Siding, sorry, windows. Is it single? Is it double pane windows, right? Siding, what kind of siding is it? Is it vinyl, aluminum, brick, wood, etc. Foundation, is it foundation sagging? Is it floor sagging, right? Is it in a crawl space or a concrete slab? All right, I'll put that in here. And you guys can get this particular check sheet or email template in the description below. Make sure you guys check that out. Okay. Kitchen, same thing. When's the last time it was updated, repaired? Does it need to be counted for? Is there no kitchen in there? Same thing with the bathrooms, right? Floors. Whether hardwood, laminate, LVP, carpet, tile. If you don't know what those are, look them up. You can Google them. Electrical. Is it on a fuse box? Is it on a breaker box? Is there any damage to the outside cable of the service line coming into the property? Is it on aluminum wire? What kind of outlets there are. Just try to get as much detail as you possibly can from the seller initially, and if it's a good deal, then you can walk it and make the documents associated with these types of condition, right? Plumbing. Is it copper quest, PEX, galvanized, PVC, whatever it may be, right? And then I'll also link this in the description below. Give it your best estimate. Give a range, right? I'll have a deal, or sorry, a repair estimator in the description below. So make sure you guys check that out too as well. It's completely for free. And then the additional information that you can provide to give better comps to the end buyer, right? Is there a one? These are examples, by the way. Is there a one car, two car detached garage, or is it attached with an electrical panel? No electrical panel, right? Is there a carport? Is there a back deck? Etc. This loan information is going to be basically for more creative deals, right? So that way, if you're buying it subject to, if you're buying with seller financing, or you're buying with a mixture of both with sub to and seller financing, then you're going to need to know this because you're going to need to know if the property cash flows or not, right? So loan amounts, the underlying loan amount, how many years left on the mortgage, let's say on the note. APR, PITI, which is principal, insurance, taxes, and interest, or that's actually principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. What's the total monthly cost of that? Are there any arrears? Like how much does the seller owe in back payments? Is there an HOA involved? And then spell out the HOA, right? The more information you get, if there's an HOA, can the end buyer or landlord, can they do short-term rentals? They can do midterm rentals. What kind of regulation is behind rentals? Attachments. I like to send out the attachments too as well, and what that consists of, there's comps, right? Comps, photos, right? You'll see that in the beginning, and then any supporting documents like deal analyzers, etc. Highlights of the local amenities within the surrounding area. So if it's next to downtown, if you're buying a property in downtown, just kind of basically highlight the restaurants, bars, and shopping centers around that, if there's any, and any supporting articles that may increase the perceived value of your property. For example, if a big employer is coming in town and it's going to be basically building this massive structure that's going to cause a lot of tourists and all that stuff, have that in the article, right? And I'm go back into the fact that, price, negotiation on price. So my best tactic to negotiate on price is I like to get a home inspection. So let's just say seller is fixed on a certain price and he will not, or she will not budge from that price. What I like to do is put that under contract, and then I like to put a home inspection on there, right? That home inspection is going to probably cost you $300 to $400, whatever it may be, depending on where you're at. That's a third party, unbiased, you know, feedback with details and pictures. So you're not going to probably crawl in the crawl space, and depending on where you're at, I'm not going to crawl in the crawl space, right? So that's where probably the majority of um your uh your cost is going to be. So example of this is the property that I bought recently, 2317 Oakland and Hampton and Hopewell, Virginia. The crawl space needs about ten to $15,000 in repairs alone. So the buyers cannot see, stuff that retail buyers cannot see, the sellers cannot see. And if you're able to provide that type of report to the seller, they don't really have much of a choice but to argue against it because it's proof, right? And so that is one tactic, one gold nugget that I will do over and over again to make sure that my to get it lower, because it's the truth. Because that way, when you lower the price, you can actually negotiate better because it gives them the reality of the situation. So that's my one tactic. And if you can add that additional information to your attachments, you will be like way ahead of the curve, right? You're providing an additional service to the end buyers that they don't have to pay for. Not only that, it presents you to be a very professional wholesaler because then you know what you're doing. So this will help you tremendously. If you want access to this, feel free to click the link in the description below. Um, and if this video gave you, value, please consider like, comment, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.